Hey, you guys, are you called to be different? That's what I want to talk about a little bit today. So, we're still going through Leviticus. Thanks for joining with me. But as we jump into this, I wanted to point out something that says that God's people were to obey his laws and decrees, even if the culture gave permission for something different. Does that sound familiar? So, we have a lot going on in Leviticus, and I finished Leviticus over the last week, and I haven't posted anything. It's been busy, but I wanted to do a short recap of what was going on in Leviticus. So we have 19 and kind of setting the tone to love your neighbor, to keep God's commands, and so we see all that, and it's pointing to that God is holy, and because He's holy, we need to be set apart and be holy. And so we see that the culture around them had were practicing um, they were offering their children to Molech, which is a foreign god. They were basically sacrificing their children to this god. And so God's reminding them, hey, even though these people do these things, you don't need to be like that. And then God asked them that you keep all of my statutes and my rules and do them. That's the key takeaway on that in that. Do them. A lot of people can hear and understand the statutes and the rules and the Levitical law, but God is calling us to live different, to be men and women and followers of Christ. And so doing that means we will live in obedience and we will do the things that he has set up. Um, some of the other parts is I'm trying to find where it went. Is that so we're talking about the feasts. So they lay out the feasts that Christ came and took a part in those feasts also. And so they rested from work and offered various sacrifices to God, reflecting on the goodness at the onset of the different harvests and the different festivals. And so there's a part here, and it goes over the different feasts, and some of them is like the Passover, which is on the 14th day of the first month, and it's the first commemorated of God delivering them out of the bondage of Egypt. Then you have the Feast of Unleavened Bread. Then you have the Feast of First Fruits, the Feast of Weeks, which is also known as Pentecost, when the Holy Spirit came. Then you have the Feast of Trumpets, the Feast of Atonement, Yom Kippur, and then the Feast of Booths or Tabernacles. We, a portion after going over the feast is a portion of Jubilee. And I wanted to hit on that for a moment with you, because we don't practice Jubilee as the culture did. And so something that stood out is that the word Jubilee, it gives them liberation. It gave them, the year of Jubilee gave them a time to remember that where they came from, but to be able to have that time for rest. And so it says Jesus had his own trumpeting moment. Reading from the scrolls of Isaiah, he announced a perpetual jubilee for people, not property. Jesus came into the world to reserve the effects of sin, to reverse the effects of sin, restore lost things, forgive debts, liberate prisoners, and reconcile people to God. So if you've been reading with me, you have seen that in Leviticus, it talks about how if you sell off your, let's say your land, or you sell yourself off to work for someone for a certain time, if you were to buy yourself or buy your land back, or someone was to come and redeem it, they would pay the difference in to where the year of Jubilee is, because God ordained a time for everything to go back in its rightful place. Then we keep going and we see again and again that that God says, I am the Lord, I am holy, I am the one who pulled you out of Egypt. It's setting the tone for Jesus to come and be our rightful king, to be our God, to be the one that he has pointed out throughout this whole time. And so, in a nutshell, Leviticus, the law, has a lot of pointing to why we needed Jesus and how we have come to grow in him. So my challenge for you this week is, if you're not finished with Leviticus, read through it. And then next, we are going to be going through Numbers slowly but surely. And hopefully I'll get some videos out for you every few days. But I hope that you're enjoying reading through the Bible. If you have questions, some comments, anything that comes up, let me know. I don't have all the answers. I have it as In Common Saints on our channel because we're in common, we're growing, we're following that Acts 2 model. And so that's what I hope for you. I hope that you spend time reading through the Bible and gaining a good knowledge of it. And so join me as we jump through Numbers and read into it. And if you have any prayer requests, please let me know. I would love to pray for you. I hope that you're having a great day, a great week. Whatever your situation is, please feel and share it with me, so that way we can lift it up. Have a great day. Bye.